And a little countdown, 3, 2, 1. We are live. Welcome to the first yoga intermission of 2022. May joy be yours this year. I am Karen, coming to you from Salutations Studios in Vermont. It's a very balmy winter day. Whether you're practicing live, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Or with the recording, you are so welcome to this first practice of the year. The focus today is on salutations, being open or creating openness to welcome and acknowledge that which arises and that which departs, whatever that might be. So we'll do some practicing today, kind of the full spectrum of the options. We're going to do a little Om chanting. We'll do some breath work. We'll do some asana movement, postures with movement with breath, and we'll do mudra. I'm going to start with the mudra of fluidity. So I'm going to take the left hand and face it downward in front of the abdomen. Bring the fingers together and the thumb points out to the right. Take the right hand and place it on the back of the left. It's a little awkward for my wrists and my elbows, but you do what you can. And then you point the right thumb out to the left. And thank you for checking in on sound and video. We're going to place the forearms in and around the hip creases, and then we're going to point the fingers as straight outward, have the fingers as parallel as possible to the earth. And if at any point in time this gets to be too much, no worries. This mudra is oriented toward fluidity, for nourishment of the body and the mind, for work with the breath, and for flexibility in the mind, heart, and body. Close the eyes if that feels natural for you. Come into the breath, noticing what the spine is doing. You can tuck the tailbone forward. Open up the collarbones like the collarbone is smiling. Collarbones are smiling, welcoming 2022. Little tuck of the chin. And the back of the head, the top of the back of the head presses a little backward as if you're pressing against the headrest of your car. If you have a car, any car, doesn't have to be yours. And before we begin, consider something you would like to cultivate, whether that is cultivating something just for this practice for 50 minutes. Maybe it's for the day or the week or the year, but we don't worry about what's to come. Rather, we focus on the now. So if your thoughts lean in toward joy or lack of chaos or calmness or fluidity and flexibility or openness, maybe consider that here. We'll begin with the breath work. Without any effort, you just start to notice some sounds that are not very close to you. Maybe they're outside the room that you are currently in, or maybe they're inside the room you're currently in. Maybe the sense of sound kind of flits around. You might hear heating or footsteps. Now let that sound come a little closer to you, whatever is nearby. Now the sound of your breath. Start to notice other sensations that the breath brings. Perhaps it's a sensation of cool air on the upper lip as you inhale, and warm air on the upper lip as you exhale. Could be the sense of the body's movement. Maybe there is a scent in your room, your space, your air. Perhaps that scent translates also to taste. And it's likely your breath has slowed down now. Allow it to slow down even more. Loosen your jaw. Maybe you take the tip of the tongue and let it rest just behind the top teeth, right where the dentin meets the soft palate. The teeth meet the roof of your mouth. And really begin to notice the fluidity of the breath. It's sort of rolling in, rolling out like a wave. If your hands or wrists get tired, you can always change where they are placed and how they are placed. Start to feel the physical body meld into the breath as if you and the breath are one. So you yourself observing yourself, the ebbs and flows of you as breath. Energy, changing, fluid, nourishing, powerful. Hone in now on the little still points at the top and the bottom of the breath. These teeny tiny slots of stillness. You're welcome to increase them if that doesn't take too much effort to do. Imagine you could sort of sneak into those little points where the breath ceases, the movement ceases, the mind ceases. And you become the still point, the origin of the breath. Rest the backs of the hands on your thighs. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Breathe in. Press the shoulders behind and drop them. Breathe out. Again, we circle the shoulders around to the front and up. Press them back. Release them. Breathe out. And one more time. Fingers spread, arms spread, nice and wide, left to right. Reaching straight out of the shoulders as if you could get a little larger in the space. Twiddle or twinkle your fingers, make fists. Release them wide. Open up the space between the shoulder blades and the muscles underneath. And don't forget to tuck the belly in a little bit. Inhale, arms rise high overhead. Maybe the chin lifts. You might gaze upward as the palms press together there. And take a moment, remain here as you breathe out. Another deep breath in. Exhale, hands draw to your heart. Eyes might close again if they had opened. Move into 3 chants of Om. Chanting can be very powerful. We haven't done very much of it other than a single Om in practice. So we'll work on our new year, new approach. And we'll take 3 Oms. First, a cleansing breath. Deep, full, gorgeous breath in. And a complete breath out. Squeeze the belly in. Inhale for Om. Backs of the hands can drop to the thighs. The chin drops toward the chest. We let the head feel really heavy. And let a little sort of pendulum swing nice and slowly, left and right, only going as far as it feels good for your neck and head and shoulders. Next time the chin drops, bring it parallel to the earth. We'll take a gentle look over one shoulder, doesn't matter which one. Breathe in, let the spine get long. Breathe out, twist a little deeper. You see if the eyes can go all the way behind you. Got eyes in the back of your head? Let's make that happen. The eyes are rotating even farther than your neck might be rotating. So you're looking farther to the peripheral vision or using the peripheral vision than your nose is pointed. Inhale, draw the chin through center. Exhale, turn your head to the other side. Breathe in. Exhale, maybe you can twist a little more. And the eyes follow and pass the point of the nose. And the nose points forward once more. I'm going to reach the arms wide again. Let the palms face up and then take the fingers, place them on your shoulders. So you're bending the elbows. We'll start with very small circles moving forward. Starting to explore the rotation of the shoulders. Those circles get larger, sort of mid-sized circles. It might slow things down, or maybe you feel the power and the energy to go a little faster, even though you're covering more ground. And then larger circles, depending on how tall you are. I think many of us on the live version of this are not so tall, but imagine maybe you could make the elbows come in circles as large as tires. Maybe those tires are on a training bike. Then we're going to go the opposite way. Small circles to start. Rotate and reverse. Mid-size. And large. Papa bear. And we pause and drop the fingertips down to the earth right by our hips. We're going to take a little tiny back bend here. So you might scoot the hands back just a little bit. And the fingers are sort of crabby shaped. Get really long. Imagine you could almost lift your bottom from the earth and then tuck the pelvis forward. Imagine that the tailbone is anchoring you to the earth. And we lengthen the front body, the side bodies, and the back body. Press the shoulders down from the ears. Start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. It's just a little teeny hint of a back bend. You might even do all that stuff over again. Scoot the fingers back a little bit more. Press the tailbone into the earth. Press the knees down and lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. We get so tall in the torso. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the heart, imagining maybe that there's an incredible string of light attaching your heart to a gorgeous star, and you're sharing energy with that star. The head might drop back. We're going to take the opposite. We're going to move into extension from flexion in the spine by coming into a child's pose. I'll meet you there. Knees nice and wide, big toes touch. Head is resting on something. So if it resists coming to the floor, you might place a pillow under your center body and a block or another pillow or cushion underneath your head. You're imagining here that the sitting bones can draw to the heels and touch the heels, and the arms are long in front. Elbows could be bent if they need to be. And the breath moves downward all the way into the tailbone as if you could press your low back against a wall. You draw up to those crab-shaped hands again. This time the elbows are drawing off the mat. We take a big breath in. And as we exhale, the hands creep over to the left, maybe coming all the way off the mat. The palm of the right hand might meet the back of the left. Instead of shifting the hips over to the left here, we're really working the right hip down and back, down and back, down and back, toward the right heel. Feel that stretch from the right hip crease all the way to the right pinky finger. Hands crawl through the center, and as you exhale, they walk to the other side. Hands walk through the center and then back toward your knees. Draw the knees together and sit on your heels. Just finding a little start at a quad stretch. Being careful with your knees. You might place a rolled up blanket underneath them or behind them. And if you like, which I'm not going to do because my knees are going, hang on, I'm going to stay here. But you might start to scoot your hands backward toward your feet and lift your pelvis away from your heels. I'm lifting my pelvis away from my heels without moving backward. We want to open up the heart, shift the pelvis forward, and maybe, actually I might be able to do that and feel good about it. Nice back bend with a quad stretch, head might drop back. Draw back up using the belly a lot and find your way into a tabletop shape. Wrists are right below the shoulders, knees are right below the hips. Draw onto your forearms, being careful to place the forearms fully on the earth with the elbows underneath your shoulders. Fingers are nice and wide. It's like you're holding two giant pickle jars. We're going to find cats and cows from this shape. And as you find the cat, you might notice as you look between your feet, whether your feet are sickling in or pointing outward, and you might adjust that a little bit. So they're more parallel to one another. And then into rolling tabletops, if you like. Just sort of like a forearm cow up into a tabletop cow, and then rounding the spine, bringing the seat to the heels. And one more round. Moving into a neutral spine, double checking the tabletop, all four legs situated as they should be. We tap the tops of the feet to the earth. Pause. Shoot the right leg behind you, but keep the ball of the foot on the earth and stretch out the foot. The Achilles, the sole of the foot, widen the toes, and then rock forward and backward, squeezing both sets of glutes, left and right, and your hamstrings. Once the shoulders are over the wrists, the leg floats away from the earth, and we work hard to keep the hips square. Left arm floats in front. Nose points down here, no lifting of the head required. And we just hang out, squeezing those right glutes, squeezing the hamstrings, reaching backward with the right foot. Powering up here. And we'll do one knee to elbow on a breath out. Inhale, extend. Draw the left hand back to the earth and then the right knee above the right elbow. Take your time. Squeeze the belly. Inhale, extend. Keeping the leg lifted, float it over the left calf and take a peek over your left shoulder. And we reach the top of the right foot to the earth. Glide the front of the right hip back to the left heel. It's sort of a pigeon shape, but not quite. Come to your forearms. And if you have more space to work with in the left IT band and left glutes, tuck the right toes under, float the knee off the mat. We're working our outer hip. Float back into your three-legged tabletop. We're going to open up the tabletop here by bending the right knee, pressing the foot toward the sky, and then opening the hips, right hip over the left. And we draw back to the three-legged tabletop. Shift the right leg out to the right and bring the foot to the earth. Hands walk backward so that you can come to kneeling on the left knee. Again, if you need to fold over your mat, go ahead, or use a blanket under your knees, feel free. So now we're starting to open up a little bit more inside the right leg. Right hand on your thigh, left arm high. Lift from the hips and exhale, tilt over to the right. Open up the heart. Move into rock star, windmill the left hand down outside the left knee. Float the right arm high, send your hips forward. Don't forget to press energy into the outer edge of that right foot. And we come back into a three-legged tabletop, sweeping that right leg behind the knee to nose. Inhale, extend back out, and draw the knee to the mat. Little wiggles might feel good, or hip circles here, or making the letter C left and right. Just listening to the body, remembering what it is you aspire to cultivate, being open to whatever arises and departs in this practice. Left leg shoots along behind, ball of foot on the earth, rocking forward and backward, spread the toes. Keep the belly a little strong here, a little rounding between the shoulder blades. And we float the left leg up. Right arm floats in front. Power up the belly, power up the glutes, power up the right tricep. We're fully activating all kinds of muscles here, just by balancing and lifting. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Right hand comes to the earth. Left leg scoots above the right calf. We peer over to the right, pause, and then drop the shoelace side of the left foot to the earth. Scooting that left leg long behind you and to the right as the left front hip bone comes to the right heel. What arises here? I'm noticing a bit of tightness in my hamstring on this side. I soften into it with breath. My left toes tuck under to float the left knee off the earth. The left heel reaches farther back. Here's a little rock forward and backward, powering up. Draw back to your three-legged tabletop. Bring your left knee to your nose. Inhale, extend. Float the left leg out to the left and place the foot on the earth. Hands move backward so you're kneeling onto the right knee. Notice here any pinching. I've got a little bit in my left SI joint, so I'm going to press my hips forward, but gather the belly in and up. Left leg down the thigh and right arm high. Breath in. Exhale, tilt to the left, pressing into the outer edge of the left foot while lifting the heart. This opens up the hip flexor as well on the right side. We tilt our way into rock star. Is that the way you become a rock star? Right hand down outside the right knee, left arm high, hips shift forward. Squeeze those right glutes and don't forget to power up and activate the left leg. Draw the hands back, three-legged tabletop. Knee to nose. Extend on the inhale. Left knee bends like you're stepping on the sky, then open up your tabletop here. Square the hips, knee to nose one more time, and return to tabletop. taking any adjustments or movements your body asks for here. As I mentioned earlier, now that we've done some gentle hip opening and heart opening, we're going to work into our sun salutations. Walk your hands forward 2 inches, tuck your toes under. We're not going to move direct to downward dog. We're going to shift the knees off the mat. Press the chest toward the thighs and gather the belly in. Stay here for 2 breaths. Down dog, slow and steady. You might pedal in and out of your dog. It's nice to feel the air leave the joints, the extra air. And the chest presses toward the thighs. The right foot moves a little bit to the left, so it's more centered left to right, and the left leg floats high. Knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Left foot comes back down to meet the right. And move the right foot out a little bit, and the left foot in more toward the center. Left to right. Right leg floats high. Knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen out. Return to your down dog. Rise to the tippy toes and make your way on tiptoes all the way to the front of the mat. Feet behind your hands for Uttanasana, forward fold. Take any bind your heart and body guide you to. I need to remove my outer layer, so feel free to sway left and right. No bouncing. Bouncing is not encouraged here. It's not great for the muscles or the ligaments. If you're in a rag doll or your hands are behind your head, go ahead and release your hands to the earth. Soften your knees to let the fingertips touch the earth. Head super heavy, shake it up and down and left and right. And a sway left and right to feel the textures of the mat. I'm going to press to standing, keeping the knees soft. Take your time. Top of the body really heavy. We pause in Tadasana, mountain pose, and sweep the arms high. Find Samastihi, hands at the heart. Recognizing, awakening, opening to that which arises and that which departs. Hands drop by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms high. Sunrise. Sunset, fold over your legs. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, float all the way to standing. Sunrise. Going to take a little interstitial, grasping the left wrist with the right fingertips. We give it a little tug and a tilt over to the right. We're not working to push the hips over to the left, but rather find an opening along the left side of the body. Inhale, rise up, release the hands, twinkle your fingers. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Sunset. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, we rise to standing. A little interstitial. Left fingertips take a hold of the right wrist, a little tug. Exhale, tilt to the left. Inhale, rise to standing. This time we're going to swing our arms behind us and sit in chair. Swing the arms in front and up, stand up. And again. Whoosh. Whoosh. One more time. Whoosh. And fold over your legs. Half lift. Forward fold, step back, high plank. We're going to pause at high plank to really feel its power. We're going to go directly to down dog. Lift your hips. Walk the hands back toward the feet. So you're going to fold at the back of the mat. Let the fingers interlace behind your low back. Always hook the fingers if they don't interlace. Inhale, lift halfway up. Pause here to lengthen the elbows. Draw the collarbones wide. Continue to look down. Keep the knees a little soft, belly in. And then take your fold. Maybe the hands float from the spine. Maybe they don't. Hands release to the earth, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise to standing, sun salutation. Arms sweep high. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samasthihi. Drop your hands, lift them again. And a forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Lift to standing, nice and light. Remain with the arms up. Cactus shape arms. Eagle arms, right elbow underneath the left. One wrap or two, it doesn't really matter. Elbows lift, shoulder height or higher. Hands float from the face. We tuck the tailbone forward. Fortify the thighs a little bit, but unlock the knees. And if you like, elbows can lift higher. It creates space between the shoulder blades. We're going to move into a twist here. The elbow that's on top. Bring that arm out. It should be the left arm out to the right. And then let your right palm face your face. We're going to press the bottom elbow upward and the forearm inward. Take a big breath in. Exhale, twist to the right. Let your eyes follow your twist. Let your head follow your twist direction. Counter twist all the way over to the left. Inhale, sweep your arms nice and wide. Exhale, remain there. Tuck your tail. Inhale, arms lift high. Exhale, cactus shape arms. Eagle arms other way. This time it will be the left elbow underneath the right. One wrap or two. Solidify. Unclench your toes. Let the elbows lift. Draw the pelvis a little forward. Elbows lift maybe a little bit more. This time the right arm reaches out to the left and the left palm faces your face. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze that left forearm upward and inward. Another inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Gaze and eyes and nose follow. Inhale, arms nice and wide. Exhale, remain here. Inhale, arms lift high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And walk the hands back to your downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot comes a little to the right. Right leg floats high. Open up your downward dog. Stack your right hip over your left. Bend your right knee. A peek under the left armpit can help square your chest. Ankle circles. Open and close the toes. Extend the leg behind. Draw the knee to the nose. Inhale, extend. Runner's lunge, right foot inside.
the right hand. Situate yourself as necessary. I'm going to tap the left knee to the mat and extend it back up. Really reach that left foot behind. Tap the knee to the mat. Extend. And one more time, tap the knee. Extend. This time we bring the left knee down, Anjaneyasana. Untuck your toes. Find your balance, maybe hands by your side, overhead, or on your right knee. I like them by my side because I find I can uncover and unfold into a deeper back bend, but that might not be for you. Energy into the heel of the front foot and the shoelace side of the left. Inhale, float the arms wide and high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Fingers interlace, palms spread so the palms face your chest. Breathe in. Exhale, a twist over to the right. Hands cup your right hip and the chin drops. You might feel comfortable scooching the right foot forward a little bit more. I think that's a real verb, to scooch. And shift deeper into the front knee. We're working the left hip flexor, the front of the left hip, open. With a twist, if it feels better, you might even bring the heel of the right hand to your low back to remind you to activate the left glutes. Tuck your tailbone, and maybe that helps you twist deeper. We'll spin around, frame the front foot with your hands, come back to runner's lunge, and sweep into a three-legged dog. Right foot returns to the earth, downward dog. And we scoot it a little bit to the left to float the left leg high. Open up your dog, left hip stacks over the right, left knee bends. Maybe you look under the right armpit. Ankle circles feel good. Open and close the toes. Make fists with the toes. Unhook. Lengthen the left leg. Knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen out. And runner's lunge. This side a little tighter for me. You want length in the stance. Left foot parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Tap your right knee to the earth and extend it. Tap your right knee down. Extend. Really press that right heel away. Tap your right knee. Lengthen it back out. Right knee comes all the way down to find your way into knee down lunge. Anjaneyasana. And here, if you have SI joint or low back issues, I could have mentioned this on the other side, but I just thought of it now. Imagine you're dragging the mat backward with the foot that's in the front. We find our back bend, a lifting of the heart, activating the right glutes. If the arms are not lifted, float them high. Bring them together at your heart. Interlace the awkward way. Spread the palms so they face your heart. Let the shoulders drop from the ears. Breathe in. Exhale, a twist to the left, and hands cup your left hip. Chin drops. More energy into the shoelace side of the back foot and the heel of the front, which doesn't and shouldn't relieve the left big toe mound from its duties. Left hand might come to the low back, reminding us to tuck the tailbone and activate the right glutes and hamstrings. We return front and center, hands frame the front foot, tuck your back toes under, come to a runner's lunge, and step forward, forward fold. Half lift. What can you do here to allow whatever arises to arise and whatever is departing to depart? Welcoming those transformations as the collarbones smile, the back gets long, and the belly gets strong. Exhale, forward fold. Float all the way to standing, sunrise. Exhale, sunsets. The hello and the goodbye. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. If you like, your feet might come a little farther apart, not wider than your wide hips, somewhere between your center and your wide hips, and sit into chair. Oftentimes we're shifting forward into the balls of the feet, so see if you can move the energy to the heels. And that almost requires you to tuck the belly in and up. Imagine you're squeezing something between your knees. The knees don't have to touch, and if the feet are not together, the knees should not touch, generally speaking. Now we're going to shift forward a little bit with the heart and reach the arms behind, like we did from our standing stance before. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, tuck your tailbone, lift the belly. I'm going to shift shoulders back a little bit and bring the arms out in front, lock them into the shoulders. Lift the toes, spread them wide, bring them back to the earth one at a time. Lift the left knee toward the heart, stay in your chair. Drop the left foot. Lift the right knee toward your heart, stay in your chair. Drop the foot. Inhale, float to standing. Exhale, let it go, fold. Halfway lift. And a forward fold, step back for high plank. Pause here. Drop your knees. Shift the hips over the knees on a Uttanasana inchworm. I don't think I've done this in a while. Many of you know that it's my favorite back bend, but I have been working on diversifying a little bit, but it's the first day of the year. It feels nice to find a familiar friend. If your elbows are yelling at you, sorry, not your elbows, your shoulders, bend your elbows and bring your fingertips or your thumbs to touch. Come back to your intention here, that which you aspire to cultivate. And return to the breath. See if you can, rather than focusing on the posture, focus on that which creates fluidity and softness in the mind and the breath and the body. And that might be paying attention more to the breath or the back of the heart that's accepting any learnings and kindness from above. And maybe it might mean creating a little mantra of that which you are cultivating. Tuck your tailbone. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. We'll move into a twist, tabletop twist. Right arm first, might fly up to the right before you thread the needle behind the left wrist. Shift around as need be. You can adjust as you go, working to come to the right tricep or the shoulder blade with the right ear on the earth and the neck a little lengthened. If you like, the left arm can lengthen a little in front. The hands might meet out to the left, or maybe you take a half bind. Left hand comes underneath the left shoulder, unravel from your New Year pretzel. Prepare for and take this on the other side. Right hand under the right shoulder to unwind. And the left hand comes to the earth. A little cat and cow before finding your way to a seat. I'm going to take a little seated hip opener before we move down to our backs to finish with our breath exercise. So the feet come forward of the sitting bones and the knees and feet are apart. You can bring your hands behind your hips, cross your right ankle above your left knee. There is where you might stay. You might find a half lotus. Or maybe, if you have enough space to work with, you can cradle up your right shin, draw it toward your heart toward your right shin. You could even extend your left leg. If you do that, you might find a little wiggle, left and right, forward and backward is helpful. And as much as you can, keep the right foot active and the left foot active. Let me switch that up. I don't have the cradle on this side. No cradle happening. Accepting and acknowledging and welcoming whatever arises or departs. Tightness in my left hip. We still lift the heart. If you want to cradle, cradle. If you extended the opposite leg on the other side, go ahead and do that here and find your rocking left, right, and forward and backward. And unravel from this to find your way all the way onto your back. Scooting the knees into the heart and finding some circles with your knees. We're drawing the shoulder blades toward the hips on each side and letting that low back and the spine get a little massage. And you're welcome for your final resting posture to simply place the feet on the floor. Extend the legs long, maybe with something under your knees. Find Supta Baddha Konasana or legs up the wall. Big breath in and out. Palms face upward, indicating relaxation, openness, acceptance. Notice the sound of your breath. Experience the coolness of the air that you're inhaling and the warmth of the air that you're exhaling. Notice any scent or taste. Feel the movement of the body as the breath works itself very naturally in and out. Allow the body, the mind, the heart to meld with the breath. You are the breath. The breath is you. You become aware of these teeny tiny still points at the top and the bottom of the breath where stillness takes over from emotion, feeling, breathing, thinking. It's milliseconds. And you now become those still points, the origin of your breath, the creator of your energy, the establisher of your attitude, the native connection. Big, generous breath in. And release it. Shift over onto one side, knees drawn up toward your chest as if you could float above your body, looking down at this really cool shape, this never-ending line of energy, circle of intention, a seed of change. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you here and now in this moment. We'll close as we began the more active part of the practice with 3 chants of Om. Palms pressed together at your heart. Bring your mind back. Bring your feeling and emotion and bodily orientation back to that which you aspire to cultivate. And we'll celebrate that and share it outward using the 3 chants of Om. Exhale all the air from your lungs. Full breath in. Thumb knuckles connect with your center forehead. May your thoughts be joyous ones. Thumb knuckles connect with your lips. May your words be words of joy. Thumb knuckles move to your heart. May your heart be full of joy. Thumb knuckles reconnect with your center forehead. Namaste. Heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you and you collectively. I am Karen. It was wonderful to practice with you. Feel free to use any of the videos. I think we're up to about 90 now. Yay! And plenty for you to go back and practice, even if you just take parts and parcels. The very first ones are meditations, and I will plan to bring a couple more meditations to bear. Although you can take that breath work that we did today and apply that. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful week, wonderful month, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Happy 2022.